You remember the doors, don't you? That whoosh of warm air as you stepped into Woolworths on a Saturday morning, a sensory feast that hit you all at once. The smell of pick and mix mingled with the faint scent of vinyl from the record aisle. Bright aisles stretched out like treasure maps, lined with everything from toys and toiletries to garden gnomes and frying pans. Kids ran ahead clutching pocket money, eyes set on sweets or the latest novelty. For parents, it was where you picked up socks, birthday cards, and light bulbs in one go. There was comfort in its chaos, a store that had everything without feeling impersonal. Today, we scroll and click. Back then, we wandered and discovered. Woolies wasn't just a shop. It was a weekly ritual, a shared space, a slice of British life. And outside, just down the high street, the story grew even richer. Back then, the high street wasn't just a row of shops. It was the heartbeat of a community. You didn't go there simply to buy things. You went to catch up, to browse, to bump into neighbors and share a quick chat in the queue. There was no scrolling through apps or waiting for parcels to arrive. If you needed a new jumper, you walked to C&A. If it was pork chops for tea, Dewhurst would have just what you needed, with the butcher calling you by name. Littlewoods offered not just fashion but possibilities. Catalogue dreams spread out on the kitchen table, orders placed with a little thrill, and Timothy White's stood as a curious blend of chemist and general store, its shelves stacked with household oddities you didn't know you needed until you saw them. Shopping was tactile, social, and, in its own way, a little bit ceremonial. You felt the fabric, tried the shoes, weighed the apples. It was slower, yes, but it felt more real. And at the center of it all were the brands we trusted and the stories they held. Here is something most people have forgotten. The high street wasn't just about shopping. It was about belonging. And nothing embodied that more than the brands that lived at the heart of our everyday lives. Take Woolworths for starters. Everyone had their own Woolies story, whether it was the pick and mix, the top 40 singles, or that odd drawer full of household bits. It was the first place you were allowed to go alone as a child, clutching pocket money like treasure. For many of us, buying your first gift for Mom or choosing your school stationery happened there. It wasn't fancy. It didn't need to be. Woolies was childhood. Then there was C&A, standing tall with its big glass fronts and bold lettered signs. Before high street fashion became fast and disposable, C&A gave us affordable, stylish clothes without the fuss. You tried things on, spun in front of the mirror, got second opinions from Mum. Their Clockhouse label became a rite of teenage passage in the E70s and 80s, a hint of cool you didn't need to save months for. Rumbelows, now that's a name that instantly brings back memories of big wooden TVs and clunky VHS players. For many households, Rumbelows was where you saw your first color telly or tested out a cassette deck. The staff didn't just sell. They explained, demonstrated, sometimes even advised like trusted cousins. Electronics back then weren't everyday items. They were milestones. And Rumbelows made them feel achievable. If you didn't buy it, chances are you rented it. Enter radio rentals. A household name when owning a television was still a bit of a luxury. You'd pay by the week, and a friendly man in a van would come round to fix it if it broke. That kind of service is almost unthinkable now, but back then it made new technology feel less intimidating. You didn't need to understand it. Just pay your tick and enjoy the magic. And speaking of tick payments, who could forget Littlewoods and Index? Their catalogues were a fixture on kitchen tables across Britain. Hundreds of glossy pages promising everything from sofas to school shoes. Children would circle their Christmas wishes in biro. Parents budgeted and paid in installments, building homes one item at a time. You'd queue in-store, fill out your slip, and wait for your order to appear from behind a mysterious curtain. It was slow, yes, but it felt like something special was on its way. These weren't just shops. They were chapters in the book of everyday life. Each one held moments, big and small, that rooted us in place, in time, and in shared experience. But over time, quietly and steadily, That book began to close, page by page, shop by shop, until only the echoes remained. One by one, the familiar signs began to disappear. At first, it didn't feel like a disaster, just a bit of change. A new supermarket replaced the local butcher. A retail park opened on the bypass, offering free parking and everything under one giant roof. We told ourselves it was progress. Quicker, cheaper, easier. But gradually, the high street's heartbeat slowed. Fast fashion brands rushed in, making shops like C&A look old-fashioned overnight. Why wait for catalog deliveries when online shopping would bring it tomorrow? Sometimes, even today. Those long queues at Index, the friendly repair visits from radio rentals, the slow pleasure of browsing aisles, replaced by silent clicks and self-checkout machines. Of course, technology played its part, but beneath it was a shift in values. We chose convenience over connection, bargains over belonging, efficiency over experience. And as we did, the places that felt like part of our family simply couldn't compete. We didn't notice the loss at first, but now many high streets feel like they're missing their soul, and that raises a bigger question. What has all this speed truly cost us? Walk the high street now, and it's a different world. Shiny glass fronts, vape shops, betting offices, and too many empty windows boarded up or to let. The buzz has quietened, the faces are fewer, and the familiarity, it's mostly gone. But look closer. A charity shop shelf holds a dusty Woolworths mug. A pop-up vinyl stall spins records that once lined the racks at Rumbelows. Nostalgia is resurfacing, not just as memory, but as value. Because we're realizing we didn't just lose brands. We lost stories, rituals, places we felt. We lost the brands, yes, but not the memories.